There's this massive wave of global investment pouring into Latin America right now, all because of a trend called nearshoring. It's promising huge growth, tons of high-paying jobs, but here's the question. Is this the golden opportunity everyone thinks it is, or is it a really dangerous gamble that could shake up the whole region? To figure that out, we're going to dive into a fantastic article by tech executive Santiago Duran, who lays out both the incredible promise and the hidden dangers.
And Santiago Duran, this guy has been at places like Google and Riot Games, so he knows his stuff. He frames this perfectly. He sees nearshoring as more than just a business trend. He sees it as a tectonic force. It has the power to build things with incredible precision, but it also has the power to shatter things like an earthquake. And that conflict, right there, precision versus earthquake, that's the heart of what we're going to explore.
All right, so first things first, why is this even happening? What is it that makes Latin America so incredibly attractive to these huge global companies right now? Well, the answer is a lot more interesting than you might think.
Okay, the most obvious driver? The money. We're talking about companies being able to hire world-class tech talent for 40 to 70% less than what they'd pay in the US or Europe. A number like that is going to get any CEO's attention. But, and this is a big but, that's not the whole story. Not by a long shot.
And this is absolutely crucial. This isn't about finding cheap labor. It's about tapping into a massive, highly skilled talent pool. We're talking over 2 million software engineers who are experts in the hottest fields out there. AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, you name it. The region has become a genuine tech powerhouse.
This also gets to a really key difference. You see, nearshoring is not your parents' outsourcing. Old-school outsourcing was all about offloading low-skill work, like call centers, to the other side of the world. Nearshoring is surgical. It's about bringing high-value, critical tech skills right into the core of your company.
And there are other huge advantages. Because Latin America is in a similar time zone, you get real-time collaboration. No more 3 a.m. conference calls. There's also a strong cultural alignment with Western business practices. So for a company, what does all this mean? It means projects get done faster, the quality is tighter, and all while you're saving a fortune. It really is a strategic masterstroke.
And right here, this is where the story takes a sharp turn. An engineer in Bogota who doubles their salary, that's fantastic for them and their family, no doubt about it. But as Duran asks, when you zoom out and you look at the entire region, well, that's when the picture gets a lot more complicated. This is where you start to feel the first tremors of that earthquake.
So let's look under the surface. While some people are riding this amazing wave of opportunity, what's happening to the ground underneath everyone else? This is the disruptive side of the whole nearshoring story. This situation creates what economists call a dual economy. Think of it like this. You've got two separate economies running at the same time in the same country. One economy is for the people who are connected to that high-paying international market. And then there's the other economy, for everybody else, stuck with local wages while the cost of living around them just keeps going up.
And believe me, the consequences are already showing up. Local companies just can't compete for the very talent they helped train. We're seeing inflation in tech hubs like Guadalajara and Medellin, where housing costs are just going through the roof. This creates a talent drain from local businesses, from nonprofits, even from public services, because they simply can't afford to hire anymore. So nearshoring isn't a simple win-win. It's a force that's creating big winners and big losers all in the same place.
Let's put some numbers on it. A senior software engineer in Latin America might make between, say, $21,000 and $52,000 a year. In the US, that exact same role pays over $120,000. Now, that's a massive win for the engineer who gets that remote job, for sure, but you can see how it just completely warps the entire local market.
And it's not just one role either. Look at a super in-demand job, like an AI or machine learning engineer. You're talking around 60 grand in Colombia or Mexico versus over 130 grand in the US. That's not just a gap, it's a chasm, and is systematically reshaping the entire economic landscape.
This massive economic distortion, it forces us to ask some very direct, very uncomfortable questions about what this relationship between global corporations and Latin America really is.
So here's the fundamental question. Is this a genuine partnership where both sides are benefiting and growing together? Or is this just a new, more sophisticated way of doing economic extraction, where the value is created locally but ultimately just flows in one direction, north?
And to take that a step further, is this truly a new dawn of economic opportunity for the region? Or, as Duran provocatively puts it, are we just watching the beginnings of a new kind of colonization,
One that doesn't use armies or flags, but uses fiber optic cables and remote job offers.
And this final question just captures the whole dilemma perfectly. Is Latin America finally getting a seat at the global economic table, helping to make the big decisions? Or is its talent just being hired to prepare the meal for someone else to eat?
Look, these are tough questions, but the point isn't to try and stop the wave. You can't. The point is to learn how to surf it. So how can the region harness all the power of nearshoring without getting totally swept away by it?
Okay, on an individual level, Duran's advice is super pragmatic and direct. Take the jobs. Absolutely. This is a real chance to get ahead. Learn the skills you need, get that remote role, and cash in on this moment while it's here. But, and this is a big but, don't confuse your own personal success with a system that's fair for everyone.
Because for the region as a whole to really benefit, there has to be a much bigger strategy. We're talking about governments and institutions investing aggressively in education and infrastructure. It means strengthening their own local tech scenes so they aren't just feeder systems for other countries. It means protecting local businesses and designing tax policies that make sure some of this new wealth actually stays in the country to benefit everybody.
And that brings us to the final powerful choice. Nearshoring is reshaping Latin America, whether we like it or not. The tectonic plates of the global economy are shifting. So the ultimate question Duran leaves us with is this: will the region take ownership of its future and build something lasting on that new ground, or will it just learn to live on the fault line, waiting for the next earthquake?